Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the trip. We are a little late, yeah, a couple seconds late, but we'll be moving on. Woo! This weekend was a little crazy. We'll get into that. A lot of stuff going on, but we're gonna do a double intro. And as Matt says, I told him. He told me. He told man. Uh-oh, you know what? I got the audio in my ears here. Just one second. Let me mute it, and then we'll get started. Everybody, we will get started. We're gonna do a double intro, so enjoy the long intro, and then we'll get the short. We'll have a little intro for everybody, and then we'll do the short intro.
This is DWTT coming to you from the Emirates. Here we go on our way now. Say hi, Mark.
What's going on? Happy.
And down there, what do we got? On the stoop, low. Cool. We're at the Tollington. Hello. We're at the Tollington. We just saw a couple players go by. Bruce Nelson did tango. Hey, dude. Another player just went by. Crazy. Another player just went by. This is great.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We'll do our quick intros. We'll do our intros, and then we will get into it after our 30-second video. But here we go, people. I thought I had a big intro for the show, but now I've lost my train of thought. But we'll get into it. Matt, how are you doing?
Doing good, brother. Doing good,
Cool.
man. We're 1 week away from this damn season being over.
Yes, the season is almost over. Tony, how are you doing?
So. Still fighting off this cough. Sugar was up and down today, so overcorrected that. So just now feeling halfway decent.
All right. And Mr. Tom, how are you doing?
I am wonderful, the best, just absolutely peachy.
All right, so I'm going to just say a quick intro to everybody who's joined us, and we'll put your posts up. But I know that Craig, the Arsenal Forever, was in early. Sam has joined us. Alonzo, Macronomical. Who else? Stan the Man is in the house. Welcome everybody to the show. I'll put your posts up in a little bit. But I guess I did have something to say, and then we'll do our 30-minute intro, and then I'll let you guys think about it as after, what you
30
guys
second or 30 minute?
all. 30 second intro. Sorry. No. But no, seriously. Some crazy stuff was happening, not only Arsenal, but in the world of football. That whole Vinny Jr. situation is, for me, pretty sad, but it's kind of where we are in the world today. Kind of sucks. You know what I mean? It's the man has to deal with a lot. You could see him. I think they showed like videos of him. He's almost crying, playing the game he loves, but being told, it doesn't matter. We still don't like you for some reason. Had nothing to do with the football, nothing to do with anything else. Something he can't control. It's a crazy world. Hopefully, I would like to see it change, but so far we're not seeing that. I'll let you guys have your say on that. But yeah, I just, it's crazy. That's some crazy stuff, and we'll get into that as well. But before we do that, I know it's a sour note, but that's one thing that stuck out to me this weekend, and then seeing the videos after the aftermath of the videos kind of like touched me a little bit there. So we'll get into that, but before that, we'll do a little quick 30-second intro, and then we'll be right back.
This is DWTT coming to you from the Emirates.
Hello, people. Yeah, so as you saw, I had my little video. I was kind of talking about the Vinny Jr. thing. We'll get into your post in a little bit. But yeah, like for me, one of the things that the reason why it touched me a little bit is because I feel like my show welcomes anybody. Anybody can come on. as long as they're they, I guess they follow whatever unwritten rules I have. Treat others as you like them to, like you'd like them to treat you, kind of thing. So we welcome all kinds here, whether you're on the Arteta in, Arsenal in, or Arsenal out, Arteta out. It doesn't matter. We'll take everybody here. We have fun, and we call each other out, I believe. So that's kind of that's what I want to bring to this YouTube thing. I think I do that, and like to continue doing that. So Matt, I don't know if you have anything to say on the Vinny Jr. thing.
Absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. This is not an issue that's new in the world of football. It is notorious that there are racists in the Spanish league. Until the pocketbooks are hit, and until some serious sanctions are handed down, this will be a recurring theme. Vinicius, if you want to come to Arsenal for a cut rate, we have room here at the Emirates for you here, my friend. Uh, uh, and I really hate that, man. I really hate that to see what I saw yesterday. I expect nothing less from Valencia. Uh, uh, it's unfortunate they did not get the bankrupt so that they can just go ahead and be out of the league. Period. But nice. They need to start deducting points, and I guarantee that'll cut that crap out.
Yeah.
And they need to move swiftly. And quite frankly, I wish all of Real Madrid's players would have just walked off the field together.
Yeah. So
Just
somebody
got
said
down and bust them all home.
the footballers stop playing, people start listening because the product's not on the field, then money talks. Tony, you got anything you want to say on that Vinny Jr.?
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about it, so can't really comment.
No problem. No problem. Mr.
I'm
Tom,
just disappointed in you a little bit, Gary, because
why?
I wanted you to show the Lego video.
Oh, yeah, I'm not putting that video.
I thought it was great though.
I know, but I'm not putting
I
it.
think they
I
actually,
wonder
I
how
think they
much they
actually dumped
spend
that
doing that
referee
video.
too.
Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah,
not
I think
mistaken,
there's
I think they dumped it.
there's something about one of the officials. Mr. Tom, anything you want to say on that?
Can't really add anything new. Obviously,
Yeah.
the fact that the league, the behaviour of the league, the reaction of the league, implies that it's enabling the fans because it's basically saying we actually think this behaviour is okay because we're not saying it's not. There's nothing really new to add. I shouldn't really be sat here in 2023 saying that behaviour is disgusting and it shouldn't happen because it just should be a thing of the past.
It should.
And it's
Yeah.
not.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's one of like I have my phrases, and one of my phrases is basically no time for hate. I got a short time on this planet. I don't really have time to spend hating anyone, really. I mean, I might hate a football team, but that's just an entity, and it's because I want to see them lose. But that's just the fandom in me. But otherwise, I don't really hate anybody, if you know what I mean. So, as I say, I don't have time for hate. I've got more. I can't spend too much time hating on people when I'm just trying to love the people I enjoy my time with. There's not enough time on this planet to go out there and be hating on anybody, as far as I'm concerned. So I rather just focus on the people that I like and stuff like that. But yeah, I saw that there was a comment there. The referee showed a picture, not a video, but a picture to the official on the field, and that's how I think they punished Vinny, I believe, at the end. When I think he got a red card for whatever was happening. So he got fired because he only showed, I guess, one side of the thing. But yeah. So yeah, that's my little thing. I know that's a little somber note to start because we want to start raging about how football is going, but that's just kind of where I wanted to start this thing. Let's get moving. And I think Craig was in the chat earlier, and I think he was going through a little therapy session with himself. But that is that's good. He got off his chest. Hopefully, we'll be able to at least talk him through everything else that's going on. So here we go. So Arsenal. The one thing I wanted to see is I was like, okay, well, we probably know with Martinelli out, Trossard's going to get the start. Cool. Nelson probably, hopefully, will get a start, right? Maybe. Tierney will definitely get a start, right? because Zinchenko's out. Then we saw the lineup, and from there, I think the lineup basically signified how this turn of events in this last part of this season has gone. It's just been surprising and disappointing each time we see the team go out there. They do things we're not expecting them to do, and they're playing a certain way I don't get. And they did exactly that. They did everything. Everything was wrong about this last game. The lineup didn't make any sense. The formation that they ran didn't make any sense. The players' attitude and the way that they were playing did not look right. Nothing looked good about that game. I mean, I thought the Brighton game was bad, and that was a home game. This was a road game against a team that needed the win badly. And we look at a team that just rolled over. I mean, City won the league because of the way we acted. They actually didn't even have to play. Probably would have won anyways, but we did absolutely nothing to stand in their way, and that's disappointing. If you can't get a play with some kind of energy at the end of a season, they didn't know they were trying. To me, they didn't know they were trying. That's disappointing. And I mean, like, I wanted to see somebody out there trying, getting pissed off that, look, everybody else is not along for this ride with me, and that's what it looked like. I don't think it felt like there was nobody out there wanting to play, and that's not good. Because guess what? That just, for me, it's a bad sign, very bad sign. It's not a way to end a season, and it doesn't help when you go into the off season. That's the last thing you want to do, is play the way we have in what may be the last 3 matches of the season, and the last 5 of 10 games we've played. We've looked pretty poor. Right now we've got 4 losses, as many losses as we had we got 3 losses, and then we had that in the first 30 games. That's just not good at all. So that's my thoughts on the game from a high level. We can get into the individuals. Matt, I know you've probably been out there, as you've been over the last week or so, getting your thoughts out there. Anything new you want to add that you haven't, or
no? We stunk it up Saturday. We just stunk it up Saturday. We've stunk it up the last 6 weeks. I would be so glad to see the back of this season. We rolled. We bowed down to the mighty Nottingham Forest this week. That formation, that lineup was the most foolish thing, one of the most foolish things I've seen in a long time. Kieran Tierney should be turning in his paperwork today to get out of his club. It is an absolute disgrace how he's been treated and how he has been just pushed to the back. We're going to regret when he leaves and goes to Newcastle, City, Man United, wherever he goes, he's gonna go, and we're gonna rue the day that we let him go. It is an absolute shame and a shambles the way this season has played out. This season has gone down the toilet. I watched City yesterday lift that trophy, and all I could think of, that was our trophy supposed to be lifted. That was our silverware that was lifted. This manager flopped coming all the way down the stretch. Flopped. This was absolute scandalous what has happened these last couple weeks. And I'm telling you, next year, the leash is mighty short. I'm telling you now, I cannot believe that we flopped like this. That I know people are saying this is the best season we've had in X number of years. We're going here, we're doing this. When you're 8 points clear, 11 points to a 15-point swing, that is crazy. And you have to start asking questions. For those who haven't watched me and Tony going to Clark, go watch that today. Because we had an in-depth, serious discussion about where this football team is headed. We've got problems. We got major issues here. Wait till we see this trend.
We'll get into the problems.
We'll get into that in a second. But we've got major issues here. This is the second year in a row we've self-destructed at the end. This is the second year, Gary. We have got to, when pressure's on the line, we have got to start producing. We got to stop this flopping stuff, man. This is flopping. Failure. When it counts. All most of us wanted was to give them a fight up until the finish. 1 point. You know, they win it by 1 point. You wouldn't hear pretty much nothing out of me. But the 15, Tony, we were 8 points clear, brother. Every week I'm coming on here. We're having a good time. Oh yeah, man, top of the league. Oh yeah, top of the league. Hey, what? Top of the league, top of the league, top of the league. Yeah, chips and crackers and have goats and everything over here. Having a good time. And then the knife started turning, Gear. The knife started turning. We started seeing the reality. The shades were coming down. We looked, and I started saying, wait a minute. Starting to look like last year. And then we get all the way to Nottingham Forest. What's the score prediction? 4-0, 5-0, 4-1, 3-0. You know, we get there in a team that's on death's doorstep. Pulls up. We keep them up. Gary, that game Saturday was a disgrace before God, man. It was a disgrace before God.
It was not good. It was not good. So let's, Ian, welcome to the show. I think I see Arsenal Misfit has joined us. Welcome to the show. Arsenal Misfit Ravenite has also joined us. Welcome to the show. And we'll get in. I'll push out your messages later. Mr. Tony, your thoughts on the game?
And another disappointment. It looks like they practiced that for about 5 minutes at the end of training when everybody was tired, ready to go to the showers. Weren't paying much attention to it. Just looks like they haven't played that. I still couldn't figure out if we're playing a back 3 or 4 or 2. It looked like it's changing all the time. Bad formation, bad lineup. And that's pretty much all I got to say about the game. But I remember sitting here a little over a month ago. I said, what do you do if we win 2 of our final 6 games? What do you do with Arteta? I still think he needs to go bye-bye. Because at the critical points of the last 2 seasons, we went to shit. Because last year we were sitting here, won 5 of the final 11. Now we've lost 3 games. Yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question. What was, because I was doing the show, obviously I was doing the watch along with Lee. What was your all's reaction when y'all saw that lineup, Saturday? I honestly thought, because I was in the chat, I was looking at the chat, and I kept seeing people say Shaka left back, and I thought people was being funny. And so then when Lee put it up there, I literally thought I can't believe what I'm looking at. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no, it was like I said, it was surprising to see the lineup and then trying to figure out what they actually were going to do with it. And I know somebody said, we're going to see. I think it was Ray I was talking to said, yeah, we're going to probably see Partey at the right back, and it's like, well, that makes absolutely no sense. That makes no sense. But Mr. Tom, did you get to watch the match, or did you watch much football over the weekend?
I am relatively pissed at Arsenal. I'm sure you can guess why. When you're 1-0 down against my team's relegation rivals, and you're passing the ball around the back 4 with absolutely no urgency, you didn't certainly show that you were a top 2 team when you're knocking the ball around, and where's desperation? Get back in the game. I'm just sitting there. And when it went 1-0, it was like, well, this is going to stay 1-0 because your team clearly didn't want it. You had your boo-boo faces on because you'd already, not you personally, obviously, the team had its boo-boo faces on because it was like, oh, we've thrown it away sort of thing. It's like you still have a responsibility to play and play to the best of your abilities, and I don't think you did. Do I see if they were doing a conspiracy against Leeds? No, obviously. But it's still annoying when you're watching it and you're helpless because you can't prevent the impending doom of what you know is happening before your eyes. But I do kind of think it's because we fucked you over twice when we beat you and cost you the title in 99 and 2003. Partly in it. Just.
I don't think karma lasts that long, Tom.
I don't know. But I'm
I
just saying,
I
I'm
have to
allowed
step away,
to
but
be
I might be
annoyed
right
at
back. Yeah. So keep going.
Yeah, basically, there's not much else to say about it, is there? I mean, yous are all furious at the performances for your own reasons, and they're perfectly fair because yous were in a situation where you had the title when you had. Yeah, I know the opponent is amazingly good that you're up against to win the thing. Like, obviously, they're potentially the best club side football's ever going to see, potentially. They're probably going to win 3 trophies, but you're still in a situation where you just had to not lose to them, and you'd probably be champions.
So are you more mad at Leeds right now or more mad at Arsenal, Tom?
No, I'm mad at Leeds. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying Arsenal not beating Nottingham Forest is why we are likely to be relegated. Not saying that.
I was just curious.
That would be pure delusion. No, that would be pure delusion on my part. But I'm still annoyed at Arsenal because of their performance. Because football's not binary in the same way. Like I know you can sit there and go, well, Leeds lost as well, so it doesn't matter. But maybe we might have had more impetus to win if we had someone else to chase. I don't know. You know how football works. But just don't worry. I've got a list of Leeds things that I'm for this week.
I was gonna say, if you hadn't watched the game, that once again you got teased again. You know.
I'd like to bring your attention to something. Just a pure guess for Matt and Tony. If I was to ask you how many points Leeds have dropped from winning positions this season, what would you say it is?
I'd say probably about 30.
I'm going to say 25.
Tony has won the prize, 25 points from winning positions. We go 1-0 up in a lot of games. And then we concede a goal and we turn into a defence weaker than wet tissue paper.
Yeah, you're too good of a team to get relegated, but it looks like it's a happen.
The league table doesn't suggest it. At the end of the day, right, if we go down, we deserve it. I'm angry at it. I'm even saddened by it. But the facts are, I can't sit there and go X, Y, Z. If we'd have got the result we deserved against Arsenal, we'd probably stop. If we got the result there's loads of games where if it had gone our way, we'd be sitting above the line, but it didn't, and we're not.
Yep. That's the crazy part. Yeah. And this comment struck me because this is kind of Arsenal. If you look at some of our most challenging games, I mean, we drew twice to Southampton. I think Everton, we lost to them when they were 19th. I think Leeds gave us a really good game. We were lucky to get all the points for that one. I mean, what else you got going on there at the bottom of the table? Everton, of course, I said beat us. Leicester City, I think we had their number at least. Nottingham Forest got us again. Right? This is like second time we played them on the road, and
Gary, why are we having
lost 1-0?
Why Why do you think we're having those issues, Gary? That we get up for massive games, and then when it's time to play, as Tony would say, the donuts of the league.
Yep. You know what? That is a sign, and it's not an excuse. It's just what it is. That is a sign of a young, and I guess I've heard immature isn't the right way to say it, but in terms of their footballing,
naive.
The team is naive in the sense that they, like you said, they play up for the big games, all right. Some reason they're scared of City because the way they play against City, outside of the one time that they played City without Arteta, that's the best we played against City. If you think about it, in that game we actually had a lead for most of the game. If we if we could have kept from getting a red card, we may have won that one. That's the best we've looked against City, and that's without Arteta. But with Arteta, I don't think we've ever looked like we're gonna win.
Notice what he said there, Tony. Notice what he said. He said, "What? Say it again. What? So the time we played City and we looked good. Who was the coach?
That is Albert. It was on the line.
Albert.
Yeah. So that actually what's interesting about that game is that showed us how we could play them. They didn't have an answer. And you know what? When you look at how we play like that all the damn time. But for some reason against City, we can't get it done.
Gary, I actually thought that he would have taken the blueprint from what Albert did and said, well, we're going to load it up and we'll get ready to go old school. We're going to go 4-3-2-1, 4-4-2, whatever, and we get ready to take it to him. And we're going to, and what did we do? We laid down. we laid down. The way we played 3 times this year, and we got beat. I want to say I think I tallied it up. It was 7-2, 8-1, something like that. Some weird strike, some 8-2, some weird number of what they beat us by this year. I mean, it just we laid down. We laid down. This is why I'm on the manager. We laid down for a City team that, like you said, last year we attacked them. I'm tired of this bottling and stuff at the end of the year. The only saving grace this year was that we were in second place. And next year it's going to be harder. I mean, we're already hearing the names that's being tossed out there. And we'll get to it later on, I'm sure, but we're already hearing some of the names. This was a golden opportunity. We have truly missed a give horse in the mouth this year. Even my neighbor, the alarm, signing the alarm. You hear him signing the alarm? I don't know if you can hear. But yeah, it's panic stations. Get ready. It's going to. It is absolutely symbolic, man, to watch the way we ended this season these last 2 or 3 weeks. Just no fight at all, Gary. None. No fight.
You know what that's got me feeling. You know what got me feeling?
Right here. Go ahead and hit it.
You know what's got me feeling?
It make you want to scream, brother.
I should have started the show with this.
Gary, it's like I told Tony today. Tony gone. I told Tony Clark today. I told him, now that this season is over, truly you can step back. Take the emotion out of it. Take we better off than we were last year. Stop and look at the cold, hard facts and look at this season as a whole. It is absolutely crazy how this season ended. And questions have to be asked.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because it's a good and bad season. And and they kind of equal each other out depending on how you look at it. Second is good, but then you look at where you were and you're like, man, how much closer do you need to get? How much closer do you need to get to and I don't think anybody expects it to be as not necessarily easy, but the chances to be as good next season.
We've got some major issues, man. We got some players that really need to be looked at in this team. I mean, Vieira came on and what did he offer? I mean, Vieira, man. I mean, this guy here, brother. This Vieira. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, brother. That he is not what we need. He is not what we need.
Yeah.
I threw out this stat earlier today. I'm not sure if you heard it when I brought it up on Tony. So Gabriel Jesus this year in the Premier League, how many goals do you think he scored?
We did look this up. He's got 10, at least in the Premier League.
10 goals. All right. On the win, Tony on the win, who scored against us on Saturday. How many goals does he have for the year? I'll tell you. He has 9 goals. 9 goals and 1 assist. In 26 games. In 25 games, Jesus has 10 goals and 3 assists. That is not going to get the job done. He is not the out and out striker that we need.
Oh, well,
remember when we
you know what? But that's you just said it right there. He's not a striker. So that's so if you're gonna say he's not a striker, then you can't evaluate him as a striker because he's not a striker, and he wasn't a striker. He might want to be a striker.
What did I say?
He's not a striker.
About 4 weeks ago, we sat right here, and I'm not sure if you asked it. Somebody asked me, would I put him back in the team? And I was like, no, he can come off the bench. What was working was working. Trossard and Trossard, even if even your boy Nketiah in the room, even that was working. I mean, Nketiah wasn't scoring, but Trossard it was somewhere or another. It was some weird way it was working. And then he said, "Oh well, no, we're gonna go back to Jesus and whoop." And what do we have?
Yeah, well, that's kind of that whole trust thing, and he hasn't figured out how to trust certain players, even though they kind of show you what they're doing on the pitch. He's showing. Mr. Tom saw something he likes. So,
Oh, my boy.
Yeah. So yeah. No, I kind of feel like that's that whole trust thing. He needs to figure out how to trust some people sooner than later because he's not doing a good job when it comes to bringing in players, them doing a job, and then him trusting that they'll do it again and actually going with whatever is working. And like I said, what is he? What he hasn't learned anything from Pep. Right? He hasn't learned anything from Pep.
He sat in class and was asleep the whole time.
Yeah, I don't understand what he's learning. So, Mr. Tom, I know you want to say something. I'm just going to say hi to Mom. Mom, how you doing? I don't know if I'm missing anybody else who's joined us. Oh, wait. Oh, we got, Ben Ireland has joined us. Welcome, Ben, to the show. You know what time it is when Why Not has joined us, folks.
Why not?
Why Not has joined us.
Why not?
The man joins us. I hope everything's all right with you. Why not? Slice is also in the house joining us. Welcome to the show. And last but not least, we got Lolo has joined us as well. So I'll go back through some of your posts, but Mr. Tom, go ahead. I know you wanted to say something
about what? Sorry about what?
Oh, you were just happy people joined the show. Is that all it was?
Yeah, I was excited.
I thought you were going to talk. I thought you had something to say.
No, not specifically. Well, not following on from that. I said what I had to say about Arsenal, but
yeah,
I was seeing our my boy Ben appeared, right? But then Why Not appeared, and I know that was going to get the conversation flowing from some individuals in the chat.
Yeah. No,
it's a joy pleasure of mine because I know he riles people up.
Yeah. No,
he's always been nice to me.
Yeah, no, Why Not's cool. He's cool. The one thing, here's the one thing that I know, and this is one thing that I see is that this is just my synopsis. Maybe it's wrong or right. I'm not sure, but the same way that I feel like the Arsenal fandom is on different sides of the spectrum, different sides of the road, different sides of the line, whatever you want to call it. I kind of felt like it's not exactly the same, but the way that Arsenal works is the same way because something's not work. They're not all on the same page. They're not all on the same page. Yes, yes, KSC is giving up the money, but are they actually evaluating how the team's being run and what's the results are, and are they actually good? Do they look good for them? You know, Dude's getting all the money, but is he getting the players? You know, it sounds like here's all the money, but then the players aren't coming through, and doesn't seem like, and he's getting promoted. Arteta's getting some of the players he wants. Other players, I he other players don't make any sense to me. But then he still wants to use them, even though they're not going to work out. You know, all three of those pieces just aren't working together, and they're not on the same page. And that's similar to our fan base. Sometimes we're all on different sides. We're all on different pages. Sometimes some of us are Arteta out. Some of us are Arteta in. Some of us are this is good. Some of us this is not so good. You know, and that's fine. That's kind of how the world works to me, anyways. But uh, the set of people who need to be on the same page, I feel, is the Arsenal. I don't think they're all on the same page. They can't be. Not with some of the way that they handle their business.
You
know,
you
there's
you,
yeah. Go ahead.
you saw did you see the transfer stuff that we had on the show with me and Tony today? The little bit we did. Did you see any of that?
I saw you just put up the
Chart,
ins and outs, but basically how I think it was the selling we were
22 players on loan, 8 out, 6 in the 6 in. Well, basically only one really amounted to pretty much anything this season. This transfer window. Then when you hear people say we don't have money or we're not spending money, it's bunk. We spent over $500 million. Over $500 million. Where is the money going? We're going to unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
That this is, this is why I'm hearing people that this a gun to gun is the new thing. Gun to gun. No more. I don't want any more hand-me-downs. This is not kids you'll love. No. You don't see City going out here buying 40-year-old, 30, 34, 36-year-old men. You don't see it. You don't see Real Madrid signing up for 30, 35, 7, 38-year-old men. If it's somebody in their 30s that's there, it's somebody that's been there for years. Gundogan can go to Fenerbahce, to Payak. You know, they can go over there. Besiktas. Yeah, Bayern will probably take him. They can have him. Yeah, he can go. He can have him. But no, we've got skint like that. We've gotten skint time after time after time. Willian, this Jorginho, we're not gonna be able to sell him. And if we do, it's gonna be for minuscule. We're gonna sell him for more, we're gonna sell him for less than what we paid for him. The only reason why Leverkusen is paying us $15 million for Granit Xhaka because his Granit Xhaka is going back to the same team he came from. That's the only reason why. This transfer policy is a joke at this club, man. It's a shambles. It's a joke. We go through this every single year. And you know what's coming, Gary. We're going to be on the transfer shows. You'll be on there with me and Tony. And we'll be going through combing through these numbers and looking at it and debating on who should be coming. We'll end up with Mason Mount and some ragtag, and then we'll be sitting here trying to figure out how did it happen. We've got a team full of Vieira's. He needs to be moved on. That's another one. Sammy Lukonga needs to be moved on. Tavares needs to be moved on. We need players that are fit, ready to go, Champions League approved, and let's roll. If we hadn't gotten burnt so many times, with players, I would maybe possibly entertain it. But We've gotten skint too many times from teams in the Premier League with their players getting handed over to us. I'd rather let's just get our own stuff. Let's just get our own stuff. Let's just go ahead and get our own stuff. Go out, get some quality players. With Gary, we were in for Salcedo and Declan Rice. We know this. We actually went to the table. We went to try to get them onto the carpet. We know this. Go back and get the players. Go back and get the players.
Yep. Yeah, no, I hear you. No, I hear you. And that's going to be that's where everybody is now. And that's the thing. I guess we'll go there, even though, I would like to keep talking about what's going on now, but I think a lot of people are done with the season and would like to move on to what's next. Yeah, what is next? Some players will be out the door that most of us didn't think would happen, like Tierney, right? Some players need to go out because they're just not going to work. Tavage and Sambi, and we need to bring a lot of players in, big players in. As you said, Rice and Casado be coming in and be good, but that's pretty much the war chest or the budget. That's pretty much the budget, Mr. Tom. I don't know. Did you, before we move on to that, and I maybe taking a little sidetrack there. What say you before we continue on down a path?
I actually think football should be stricken from the earth. I just don't see I don't know what value it has, because it makes everyone miserable. Even a team that are sitting second place and have achieved the Champions League that this time last year they wanted and I know there's context to this, but just give me this for a second, where yous are also unhappy. I know you have reasons, I get that, but ultimately you're all unhappy. So why should football be a thing? You're literally at the top. Not literally at the top, but you're at the top end of the spectrum and you're still sad and mad and unhappy. So why does this sport exist? Who does it benefit if you're doing well and you're still pissed off?
If Leeds would have been in second place and pissed away an 8-point lead, that energy would be a whole lot different.
No. If Leeds were second place in the Premier League after pissing away an 8-point lead, I'd be disappointed. I'd be massively disappointed. But we've also been in the football doldrums, so I'd be sitting again, boy, glad we're not going to drop out of this anytime soon.
Yeah.
Look at what I got up there.
You know what?
That is next year. You just gonna come back next year. You're gonna spend 200 million in the summer and go again. That's what you're gonna do. What are we gonna do?
Yeah. Bounce, y'all come back up. If y'all go down, y'all be back. Y'all be back. Honestly, y'all be back.
You do it again next year, and you'll do it the year after, because you're never gonna go down, because the finances of football won't dictate it.
Look at this right here. Look at this what I'm sharing. Look at my screen share.
I don't even know. Do I want to put this up?
Yeah, you can put it. It's nothing crazy.
All right, let's see what he got.
There we go, right there. That's it. That's Arsenal right there. That's us. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's us right there. Yeah. More rejects. Please feed us more. More Williams. Yeah. Our transfer policy must change this summer.
Well, you know what? It's not Williams. It's not that bad. Let's just go. Let's just make sure we don't go. Williams was a serious bust. I don't think Jesus and Zinchenko are as big as a bust as you think, and I don't think Jorginho was actually that big of a bust. But they are. Well, we need better.
Is Jorginho quality enough to win us the Champions League?
But we didn't need him to. You see, there's roles on a squad, right? There's certain positions on a squad and roles that people need to adhere to. Was he supposed to be?
Is he going to win a cup?
He was supposed to help us get through the season and maybe solidify some things for us, and I think he could do that. Like
Did he do it this year?
was he, but if you don't use the tools right, then you can't complain the tool, right?
Who-
Because that's the
and whose
problem,
fault
right?
is that, Gary? And whose fault is that?
That's the problem. Is it starts at the top, right? Starts at the top, right? I mean, you have we have the answers, and you don't even look at the answers and then write them down. You decide to do something else, and that's kind of what's going on sometimes. So yeah, that's what at least as far as I'm concerned, Arteta is doing. We don't want your squad. Yeah, we'll take your take Tyler Adams. So if we can have your squad for free, we'll take Tyler Adams, and then you can have the rest back if you want. So Vaj has a chance. It depends on. It doesn't have a chance if we're not going to play him in the right position, and we don't really play three at the back unless it's the season's over and we play people who never play there for this squad. So that's probably not going to happen. Yeah. You guys are having your own chat going back and forth there. Got Spencer has joined us. Welcome to the show, Spencer. Got a lot of people in the house. Hope you guys are enjoying us as we talk about this. I saw a lot of messages, and let me go to some of the star messages that I have in there. And this is pretty much about where we go from here. I think a lot of you guys want to talk about where do we go from here. One is a Champions League. Who knows what we're going to have, but we need to have a strong team. We had a good 11 this year, but we need to have an even better starting 11. Going forward. Lots of improvements over the summer. Lots of improvements. Mr. Tom. Well, I guess we're out talking Arsenal, but you can talk Leeds to give us a little segue there.
It's sad what has happened. Ultimately, and I know people are going to say you're not actually relegated yet, but let's be honest, it don't look amazing. It don't look fantastic. If we were a cat, we used our lives last year, possibly. I don't know. It's just. I'll sit there and go, I hate this team, I'm done with it, whatever. When August rocks around, whether we're going to Plymouth or we're going to Brentford, it'll be, come on Leeds, let's get on with it, get into them, all that stuff, because that's football. As much as I want football wiped off the face of the earth, come August, I will revert to the antics of someone that hasn't actually had football for 3 months. So, but the state of Leeds is quite interesting though, because let's say we do get relegated next week. We'll have no manager, no director of football. We'll have an owner who doesn't want to be here because he's actually right now negotiating to buy Sampdoria. We'll have minority owners that don't want to buy us because we won't be in the Premier League, and we'll have players that either don't want to stay or do want to stay but probably ain't good enough to stay. And it's just sunshine and rainbows. So let's get into them on Saturday. I mean, I'd still love us to beat Tottenham because it's Tottenham, isn't it?
And then everybody seems to be able to get something on them. So why not Leeds? Why not Leeds?
Yeah.
That's,
why not Leedsy?
Why not Leedsy? Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not punish Harry Kane one more time? Maybe he'll do something good for himself as opposed to whoever he's trying to help at the squad that he's at. But yeah, you definitely have a chance, and depending on how these players want to go, and you are playing at home, right? You are playing at home, right? Yeah. So I would expect that crowd to be. No, I know, but you're playing against a team that if we're talking all about all this bottling, they seem to do a good job of it as well.
I could be reading this wrong, but I actually think on Saturday the fans are more going to take the opportunity to be toxic towards the management. as opposed to getting 100% behind the team.
Well,
Because
that's up to the team, though. The team can change that.
that is true. No, you're right. But keep in mind, this is like a systemic failure to. Other Leeds fans might know different or know better than me about it, but I feel that finishing ninth was a false dawn. It created arrogance among the upper management. It created a belief that they didn't need to improve the team significantly, which is massively naive in the Premier League. Because you saw what happened to Arsenal when you didn't improve your team. You dropped down to 8th. Because if you're not improving, the best you can hope for is to stand still, because everyone else will be improving and spending money, because we're the one few leagues in the world where everyone gets the same TV money, or not exactly the same, but enough that the worst team, Bournemouth, can outbid AC Milan to a footballer. One team has won the Champions League multiple times, and they will get outbid by Bournemouth because of the TV deal. But congratulations to Bournemouth, because you lost the game 9-0, and then you went on to win quite a few of them at the back end of the season. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to Nottingham Forest on having this uncanny ability to have one shot in a football game and score it.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people have slept on. A lot of people haven't realised they scored their only 2 shots against Liverpool. Like, you're always in with a chance if you've got someone up front that just seems to just bang the back of the net with his one and only chance in a game. But yeah. I mean, football's just it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing, and I can't wait for it to go away, and then I can't wait for it to return, because that's what we do. That's what we do as people. All right. Yep. It's loads of emotions. Yeah. The thing is, I don't want to get my hopes up, because it's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you.
True. But you know what? This is why we're fans, because we want it. We want. If you say, even if you don't say it, you still hope your team wins. All right. Even if you realize it's not, like, I mean, yes,
I've
the
never want Leeds
realization is
to lose a football match.
no, but
That
the
will never
realization is that you're probably up against a really tough opponent, so it's going to be tough. But we all want our teams to win, and we all think, and I believe there's always a chance to win every game. That's why I kind of feel like that's how I go into every game, feeling like there is an opportunity for us to win. Right, we don't have to necessarily be lucky, but if the plan is correct, we will have a chance to get the win. So that's kind of how I look at the games. So I'm always expecting a win, because there's definitely a way to win every game we play. Doesn't happen, but it definitely can happen. We're talking about players and stuff. I saw this coming up. Pepe, bye. I think he's another player that should be out the door. Everything he's done, I mean, he's just not going to work for us anymore.
Yeah, we blown it with selling him, man. I mean, that is probably got to pay him to leave, man.
Yeah,
that's another one. Chalk that up. That's another loss. 72 million. Not even making a scratch. We'll be lucky to get $1 million or $2 million for him.
Yeah.
Some championship team might come in for him, but.
Yeah. I always go back to, at least with Pepe, I kind of felt like the comparison and the way that Arteta treated Pepe and how he treated Xhaka back, was it 2 or 3 seasons ago, kind of, showed kind of hurt. I think it hurt Pepe a lot. He got Arteta backs Xhaka a lot, because that's his man, but Pepe, a talented player, didn't get back the same way, and I think that hurt. And Alonso, we talked. I think we some degree we did definitely talked about Arteta's arrogance, maybe not directly, but with all his actions. I mean, going with that back line, going with that structure, going with those players, none of that made any sense. And there's trying to be too smart sometimes, and then there's, I guess, Arteta's arrogance. I don't like those words, but every time he does something, you're like, you really thought this was going to work? Did you really think this is going to work?
Yeah.
Kiriora is going to be able to play a left back, is that right? And Partey right back
I mean,
against a team who not only, yes, is not only sitting towards the bottom of the table, but is really good at home. They don't make it easy for anyone who plays there. Not only that, but I think the last time we played there, we lost 1-0. They knocked you out of a cup. First time in like 20 years you played them and they beat you. If that's how that, if I recall, that's how that worked out. Something ridiculous like that. So Arteta doesn't have that sense of urgency where he needs to get those players and gets a plan together that can get a win. Not sure what he's doing. Not sure what he's doing. Sorry, Matt, you were going to say something?
Question.
no, go ahead.
Yep,
Go
go ahead.
ahead, Tom.
I have a question for Arsenal.
Mm.
What is it about April that turns your players into, well, I don't know an adjective for it, but what is it about April that drops the form considerably in an Arteta team?
Well, I think it starts at the top and trickles down. That's what I think. I think, yeah, it's partly Arteta. It's for me a lot probably is the squad itself. We don't have. I mean, I was looking at everybody's looking at stats and numbers and stuff like that, and we'll compare. Some people are trying to compare ourselves to City, and yes, they're playing in a Champions League and all of that, but they'll rotate their players, and I think that's important to be able to
We
do.
have historically thrown away the season in
And
the
it kills
spring.
us at the end. It kills
We
us
have
at the end of the season.
we have done that for years, but in the last couple of years, it's gotten really bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Really bad.
yeah.
We've become jokers, man. At the end of the year, we shrivel up and become jokers.
Yeah. This is as somebody said, this is a marathon. What we did here was, you've seen, you've seen this in any number of races, right? Basically an unknown goes out there and is killing it on the field. I saw this in a triathlon like the Ironman. Guy came out of the water like first, was in the bike first, then the marathon hit. And the guy that was slated to win ran him down in like 10 miles. Basically, before they made the turn to come back, it's whatever number, it's 26 miles. At like the 13-mile mark, I think he caught him and then left him. And that's what Arsenal does sometimes. They come out really good. They don't have enough, the mental capacity to go through it, and also probably the physical, and they get just rammed down. That's what we did. That's what happened. And this is total system failure. Everybody, Tedder, the players. Look at how we've played the last, the last three losses that we've had. Did that look like a team that had any? Was that like the team that we saw in the beginning of the season? Not at all. Did you see more than two players that looked like that? Yeah, total system failure, and I think the message coming from the manager isn't good. The players themselves are worn down.
Here you go, Gary. This is what we look like. This is what we look like.
Oh,
This is what we look like. Here we go.
you want me to show this?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what he's got here.
This is what we look like.
Is that what they call this, Mr. Freeze or whatever his name is?
I saw a version of this.
This is
which
Arsenal right
literally
here.
had your badge on
Yeah.
the one at the front.
Yeah.
And Man
This
City's
is our
badge was.
Oh, this is the best. I think if I recall what happens at the end
damn
of this.
Braves. I remember
No,
this.
he thinks he's gonna win.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, but yeah. See, you know what? If that's what our players were doing, and I believe that's what they were doing. A lot of people think the team was big, was a little bit big headed, thought they had won this thing, and didn't realize that it is 38 games. For me, this is the same as what we see in a regular 90-minute game. When's the last time? How often does Arsenal in a 90-minute game go up a goal and you're like, we're going to get another one? How often do we think that? How often do we look at our team and go, we're going to get that second goal. We're going to get that third goal to put us up 2 goals to pull away, and we don't do it. That's a mentality thing. We don't see that, and it hurts us every time. Yes, we sometimes finish up with the 3-2 or the 3-1 lead, but that other team had opportunities. And we always say that, right? We look back at the game and we're like, we won 3-1, but boy, it could have been 3-3 easy. How often we say that? We say that a lot. I mean, we said that in the Liverpool, we could have lost that. In the West Ham, we could have lost that. In the South Ham game, we probably should have lost that. But and then after that, boom! This is an explosion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just an explosion after that. Because I mean, it's similar to what we did last season, right? Those 3 games we didn't win, right? And then the next 2 games we played got destroyed by that team, then got destroyed by Newcastle. They look exactly the same. So whatever Arteta did last season, we may have moved up in terms of where we sit in the table, but the performances look similar. The way we're playing looks similar. Like we just rolled over and died, curled up, fetal position, basically. Didn't want none of this anymore. That's what it looked like. So it's a systemic thing. I think it's right now part of what Arsenal's all about right now. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, Mr. Tom, but it's just the way we are right now. It needs to change. And once again, I said this yesterday on a show. Who is our, and I don't mean this. I didn't mean this figuratively. Who is our Kevin De Bruyne?
He's not hitting Arsenal right now.
Who is our player that no matter how good the team is on the other side, they give you that one chance. They hit that one ball. They put the one shot away. You get. Who is that player? We need that. And who is that player that you can depend on? And a lot of teams have that, right? A lot of teams have that. Is and that's what we're missing now. We need somebody like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That gives me a question, Gary. Another question. If you was to rate players out of 10 or in their season, what score would you give Odegaard out of 10 for your season? Scored a fair amount of goals for a midfielder.
Yeah, no, I know. And you know what? I said this as well. He scored 15 goals, but he's easily could have had 20, 25. And that's not like, well, I think that's legit, because partly there's shots he doesn't take, and I'm like, those are opportunities that are lost, and a lot of times we don't ever get a shot off in that situation. So yes, he did really well, and I went over this yesterday, and people shut me down. He did really well. We scored 15 goals, which is tops for a position he plays. But we needed somebody to do a lot more, and I believe he had it in him.
Game changer.
I believe he had it in him. That's my thing. It's not that he didn't do good. It's just that I think he had the little extra that we needed. We needed somebody to do a little extra. I always say, as a goalkeeper, you need to make that one stop, that one save, right? That one save in the game that changes things, right? And I think with his foot, he can put a ball away. I just didn't see it enough. I didn't see it especially when the team needed it, right? And I know he's got it in him, So I'm, hopefully he does at some point. But that's what we're looking for. We're missing that guy. Yeah.
So who was your best performer this season?
Best performer.
And that's not the end of the season, but I think after 37 games, it's fair to. Who would you say at the Arsenal team was the best performer?
It's hard for me to give it to just to one person, because I definitely feel like.
Well, no, I get that, but a name entered your head.
Yeah, like Gabriel Magalhaes enters my head.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
Saliba,
the
man.
things that he needs to work on are things that I knew going in. You know, when Saliba was out and he had to play with Holding, when he had to play with Kirior, there were little things that he needed to do. He didn't do them, and that's why we looked. He needed to not take the risks that he would have taken with Saliba, and he didn't do that sometimes. And that's for me what a young player in that position will do. But in general, I think he was probably the most stable person on that back line. He has his problems, but I think a lot of young defenders do.
Yeah.
But he was
Yeah.
pretty much, I think, probably the
Saliba.
better, most consistent player that we had on the team, and day in, day out. And he was available. He played everything. In the Europa League games, he started because Arteta didn't have the numbers. So yeah, I know.
So Rob Holding's not in your top 5 players
Rob,
this season.
top 5 what?
Players for Arsenal
He's
this
taking
season.
Top
the piss, man.
5. He's not even in my top 5 center backs.
He's taking the piss.
No. Arteta has this. Whatever Arteta has these things, and Rob Holding is supposed to give it to him, and I'm like, I don't. Oh man, yeah.
That cheered me up.
Erdegaard,
Cheered me up.
yeah. So that's my thing there. I don't know if people agree with me or not. I don't know what you feel, Matt, about
Saliba.
Saliba.
Saliba, Martinelli. You got Saliba. You got Martinelli. You got Saka. Gabriel Magalhaes. Nah, no way for me. I mean, he came in. I give him his props. He did a decent job in Saliba's absence, but he's nowhere near as far as what I would say is the player of the season. No, no, not by a long shot. I will say he's improved, but no, he wouldn't be the player of the season. That's just me.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, like I said, it's a where would did one of them like I know a lot of people look at Erdogan and they say yes, he was really really good for us, but then I turn around sometimes and I'm like, but in the games where I wanted him to when we needed somebody to shine, he's not the one, even though he's our better player. And and they're like, well, the whole team was bad, but I'm like, sometimes you need to overcome that, right? Yeah. So as Stan says, many have tried to shut Gary down, few have lived to tell the tale. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if my takes are if I back them up good enough, but I kind of feel like I bring enough information that you can maybe take a second, listen to what I have to say. But that's kind of how I feel about that. Yeah, like I said, Erdegaard, he hasn't even. He's still. I think there's a lot more in the tank, as they say. There's a lot more he can offer. I mean, I know that it's not all him, but Saka had more assists than him, and I know that if he had 20 goals and a number of assists, then I would be like, okay, because we've seen a lot of his assists go by the wayside because he's passing the ball to Jesus, who's not clinical. So that's taken away some of his assists there, and that's why we need better, right? That's why we need better up top.
Yeah, I know we're getting close to the end here, but I'll say this: we definitely must get top tier, world class players if we expect to be relevant next year. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I'm sorry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We need we need a striker. We need someone that can put goals in the net.
Yeah.
We need a talent that we need to start thinking about talent that we can get that's young enough to move on, where we can make some decent money, so that we can move into top tier talent. Because that's all City's been doing. City is like 10th in net spend, believe it or not. For all of the money that they've got, they're like 10th in net spend because they sell their players. They get rid of old watch players quick. They get rid of them. They'll keep them for about 3 years, 4 years, and they're out of here. In 4 years, not Phil Foden, Jack Grealish will be moved on. He'll be moved on, or either he'll be sold in 2 years. Somebody will come in with an outrageous bid for him, and they'll move him on. They get a better talent. Yeah, this time we have to get top tier talent. Top tier talent. No more hand me downs. No more kids you love. No more Jerry's kids. Phone solicitations. No.
Yeah.
We need top tier talent to move forward and compete. We got lucky today. There was some silver lining there with Juventus getting the points, doc. That put us in the part 2. So we avoid a lot of the big dogs. But still, I want to compete next year
The
in the
big
championship.
dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, and Ray joins the show. Welcome, Ray, to the show. And they say absence makes the heart grow yearn more, or whatever they call it. Saliba being out, showing that he's player of the year.
And
Between
he needs to be re-signed, Gary. He needs to be re-signed.
no, but well, before we get into that, I know people are like looking at Saliba and looking at Margulies and going, you know what, Saliba is the fact that he is the shinier of the two. You know, he does make the plays out there, but there's something to say to be the stalwart behind the the flashiness sometimes, and he did that this season for us. I think the two together created a great tandem for me. So yeah, Saliba, Arsenal should have made that should have signed that, got him to at least agree to that thing a long time ago. That should have not even been an issue, and now it could be. But I mean, he's injured, so our team's going to take a risk on him. But Arsenal, if they're doing if they have any smarts, they would just get that guy signed up. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, that should have been done already.
To me, it's always a gamble with back injuries because you never know if for surgeries don't work much at all or any at all.
Yeah.
So
what do you
to
do?
me-
Do you let him go? Like
I would try to.
you can't.
I would try to sign him down or sell him for 50-55 million, like they got Jesus for. Because you got White still.
It's a risk.
I don't think White's much of a step down, really.
Yeah. So everybody remember to smash the likes if you've joined us. If you haven't subscribed, do that, please. But yeah, no, I know the back injury, but that's up. Arsenal needs to decide if they think he's going to be healthy, then they need to sign him. If they don't think he's going to be healthy, then they should, see if he's going to take whatever they can afford. And then if it doesn't work, then they have to sell him. It could backfire for sure. But you have to decide. You have to decide to go with a plan and then just stick to it, right? If you think he's going to be good enough for you, you got to pay the money. I don't know. Mr. Tom, I don't know what you think about that. Saliba back injury. And some say player of the year for us. One of our top players. Back injury, what do you do?
Okay, in all seriousness, I would argue that a blind man could see that the decline in form and the injury of a certain centre back are probably intertwined. But also, it is 1:45 a.m. here in the UK, and I'm rather peckish. So, Gary, if you don't mind, please unleash the banner.
Everybody, it's that time.
It's that time.
It is that time. We're almost at 75 minutes. The time went really fast. I don't know if we actually went in. I don't think we went in any kind of order. We just kind of rambled about whatever we could think of. But yeah, Tony did try to shut me down, and you know what? Yeah. I thought I just said he was just going to walk with a limp. I didn't think it was going to go that far, though. Sorry, Tony.
Captain Controversy. I went to my local crisp emporium. I went to a different one because they were getting a bit samey, as Tony was once complaining. Okay. So I went to a different one and I went, "What you got for me, Mr. Crisp Man?" And he went, "I've got you Italian," what are they called? Italian wafers, vanilla. All right.
Those are crisps?
I don't know, it's
No.
Chris.
Hang on. They are an Italian wafer. Okay. However, I went to the same crisp guy, okay? And I went, but I'm feeling really sad because of my football team. So can you cheer me up more? And he went, yes, sir, I can. And he went and got me the same thing, but in chocolate.
But neither one's a crisp.
All right,
And-
Tom. We'll take the question of the week.
Okay, I do have a question of the week.
Oh,
well,
good,
yeah.
good.
What
While you're
team-
playing around with those things, I think I saw somebody said let's rate Arteta for the
Chocolate,
season.
chocolate,
So-
baby. I'm going to do
Oh,
both
look
at the
at that.
same time.
All right, you do that. Hit it. So Matt, Arteta out of 10.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Tony,
For the year,
he's for the season. Yep.
4.5.
4.5.
So I think he's
I guess
improved
I'm
everywhere.
Arteta in, and I'm got him closer to 6. So I know what he wants to do. He doesn't have all the answers,
love
and he
double
doesn't know what to
dipping.
do with the answers with the players he has, and that's the problem. You're just like he's going at it, people. I give Arteta a 6. I know it's and that that's because we know what he wants to do. He don't have the players that he wants to do, and he doesn't want to change, and that's the stubbornness that kind of drops him down. If you said you're going to get second in the season, he probably would take that and say it was a good season, but he doesn't. He definitely screwed that up. He made everything look bad. I think this season, Arsenal got their St. Toddy's Day. They got their top 4. They even challenged for a title, and it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good.
I've been waiting that for since Leicester won last time we finished above them.
Yeah.
And I just not happy at all about finishing ahead of Spurs.
Yeah. It actually, I think if I recall, we might have drew a game, and that didn't really help us, but because there were losses around us, it meant they definitely weren't going to catch us, and that's kind of how the season went. We really couldn't really enjoy. We never won a game and put ourselves in a situation. You know what I mean? Like, did we win the game to say if we get our St. Toddy's Day? No. Did we win a game to get us in top 4? I don't believe so. And did we win a game, when we needed to win the league, and we didn't do that either. They were there, and like when the pressure was off, we did get a win, but then the next game we needed to show up again, and we didn't. So it's just sometimes I don't like backing into things, and that's kind of how I felt we did. We kind of backed into the top 4. We might have got it anyways, but we still seemed like we backed into it. So, Mr. Tom, give us a rating, and then it's time for your question.
The vanilla is 7. The chocolate is 8.
All right.
Out of what?
10, man. Come on. Stop it.
9.4.
He does weird. He does weird charts.
He does. Let's get our question so we can get out of here.
Okay. Same thing do every week. Do you want the question on Arsenal or
No.
Inter Milan?
We already know the Arsenal question is what team bottled an 8-point lead.
That's not the question. Stefan, welcome to the show. We are getting out of here though. So he wants the Arsenal question. That's what Matt wants.
No, I don't want Arsenal question. I want the world question.
All right. Okay. Why did Inter Milan split from the Milan Cricket and Football Club, which is now known as AC Milan, in 1908? Why did Inter Milan split from AC Milan to form 2 separate teams?
Something about communism.
No. Well, no.
No. Sounds like maybe.
Two cousins didn't get along with each other.
That's mysteriously close, but okay. The answer is no. I'm not going to give the answer yet. I'm going to give time for someone to Google it. But
Something about a union work conditions.
Pincushion has it.
Why can't this thing is
AC did not like foreigners.
Basically, they basically put out two teams. There were two leagues in early Italian football. There were two leagues. One that was just Italian players, and one that allowed non-Italian players. However, Inter Milan, their name is legally, it's technically Internazionale. Yeah, that's the one. And obviously, that implies that they see themselves as more of a multicultural team than AC with their English flag and their English founders and all that. So yeah, that was basically it. AC Milan only wanted Italian players on their team with no international players. Inter Milan disagreed, so they split the two teams and eventually joined the same league when obviously the Italian league did away with the silly foreigner thing. Silly.
Interesting.
Foreigner.
What year
Well,
did they
Jeff,
get
you
rid
joined
of
us, but we're about to head out of here. We're about to head out of here. I hope I get Ben did leave us. Thanks for joining us, Ben. Getting to these things a little bit late here. So yeah, we're gonna head out of here. So first up, we got Mr. Tom.
Oh, greetings! Didn't see you there.
Good night. Say good night to the people.
Good night to the people. No, same just every week. Thank you to everyone that comes on. I noticed like there's a significant increase in viewership tonight, which is awesome.
Yep.
I mean, comment section's been wild. Like, actually, it's been such a struggle to keep up with, as you can tell by the fact that we're still behind on keeping up with it. But
were they trying to figure out where I went?
I thought it was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody in the
Also,
chat.
no,
You
that
guys
actually
are having
not one person asked where you was.
I bet somebody.
Do you want me to lie and say that everyone asked? Not one person. No. I was at one point
there's a lot of
actually
love
gonna
in
say,
the
"Can someone poke Tony to see if he's alive?" But I didn't. No, seriously, thank you to everyone for supporting the show. Thank you for the comments, especially as I always like to give special mention to people in England that are obviously here at 1:54 a.m. making their comments and stuff. It doesn't go unnoticed. Wish everyone a good week. To people on the panel, people in the chat.
Cool. All right. I'll say Tony. Say
bye. Wish I could be here the whole show. I always enjoy being with you guys and the people in the chat. Wish I could have said more about Arsenal, Arteta, and what Arsenal needs to do. But it's fine. Got plenty of time to do that.
Yeah. So I kind of felt like there's a lot of stuff we can offload about Arsenal for the season. Got one last game. I know the season's pretty much over, but it's good. Let's see what Arsenal has to offer us in the last game.
Matt, do you fire him if you lose the last one?
No. So let Matt. So you're done, Tony?
Yep.
All right. What was that, Tony?
I said, do you fire?
I'd fire him for the last three. You talk the last game. I'd fire him for where we at. We bottle the league, man. Bottle the league. Bottom line here. This weekend will be the going home for Granit Xhaka, a player for the club who I could give two shits about. And I am thrilled he is on his way out. This is out of the dismal last few weeks of this season, that is the best news that I've gotten as an Arsenal fan. Is that
I
Granit
just wish
Xhaka is out
what
of here.
sucks is we're gonna put Zinchenko in that role where he needs to be instead of being a left back.
Yeah, it is good. He is out of here.
You
I
actually
could
used
care
a bad.
less.
You actually used a bad word. So
I
I know
don't.
you were.
That's I can't stand Granit Xhaka. Ever since he threw that armband down, told the fans "F you." The next day he should have been out of this club. He's still been here. He's had one good year out of 7. That's not good enough. Thank you, Bayern Leverkusen, for the donation of 15 million to the transfer fund to get Salcedo. We appreciate that, my friend. Shaka, we'll see you later, bro. Peace. Could care less.
All right, people. So I try to catch up with all of your comments, but as I said, I believe you guys were enjoying yourself going back and forth. As I said, I appreciate the way our chat room works, no matter what side of the fence you're on.
But Gary, I still love you though. I still love you, Gary.
Thank you very much. Love you too. But like I said, everybody in the chat, you
What
guys are
about
on
us
different sides.
two?
And you too,
Oh
Thomas.
yeah. Oh wait, that's right.
Tony.
Tony and
Of
Matt.
course.
Tony, Mr.
My
Thomas. How you
brother.
doing? How you doing? That's
My
right. He
brother.
joined us tonight.
Hey man, just for that, man, we
kidding.
get a goat out of here. Let's get a goat on the way out of here, man.
Oh
Let's
yes,
get a goat on the way out of here.
We'll do that.
In
But
honor
yeah,
of Arsenal season, baby. Hit that goat for me one time.
we'll do that. But let me say what I usually say. We'll see you on the next one. The summer, we'll try to do the summer. We'll probably do it a little bit less because it is the summer. But we'll be around. And as I like to say, life is a journey. Don't waste a trip. Enjoy the ride. And yeah.
Yep.
And we're gonna get out of here, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
I told man.